said I wanted to get to the coast and really wanted to go to the east coast because I like the east coast, but the tides were wrong and we've got a southeasterly wind. So I thought I'll go west coast instead. And I've come to this lovely little spot called Portencross. Don't ask me where it's near. Not got a clue. I've been through so many little towns and villages on my way. As you can see, sunset is going to be absolutely amazing. The sky is going to light up. We're going to have the most phenomenal colour. Gotta love an optimist. Give you a little show round. Some beautiful rocks here. Now that's a little island, but I don't know what that island's called. I haven't looked at the map properly. That oofing great island over there is the Isle of Arran. And there's a distinct blue haze hanging over Arran. In fact, the whole atmosphere tonight is very blue. So don't adjust your television sets. It's how it is. And there's Portencross Castle down there. And while I was walking from the car park, past a bloke and his family having a barbecue. Oh, it smelled wonderful. So this, in case you haven't guessed it, is the object that I've come to shoot. Portencross Pier. Let's see if you can see it. I was going to have a walk out to the end until I noticed the oofing great hole and I thought, oh, maybe that's not the brightest idea I've ever had. I know it's a hole in the middle, but maybe there's other holes. Maybe it's weak and I can't get through. So down here, let me spin you, see if you can see this. Right, hold your horses. Yes, God, that's pretty good, isn't it? There's some rather nice rocks down here, leading out to the pier and then leading up into the distance. I'm not going to be able to get rid of that, but I'm not too dismayed. High tide, whoops, where have we gone? High tide is half past 7. It's about 10 to 7 now. And sunset is 8:15. So I thought, oh, that works quite well. So I'm going to chuck my gear on my back and try and get down there. It doesn't look like the easiest of places to get to, but where there's a photograph, there's a way. See you down there. Phase 1 completed successfully. I've got down here and I'm still in one piece. It's like 900 degrees down here because I'm so sheltered from the wind. Now, I was going to do a time lapse of me trying to work out a composition, but even speed it up would have been here for half an hour. We've got to be at high tide now. It's got to be about 7:30. So I've been down here for about 20 minutes. I started off over there, didn't really like it over there. Then I went over to this side, round here. I liked it, but I couldn't find a place to stand where I could actually put the tripod and not risk it getting swept out to sea. Because every now and then a big wave comes in and it would have drowned me and the camera. So after much faffing, I settled on, on this bit. It's getting quite lively over here. Now there are several things wrong with this composition, about which I can do very little. But there are several things right as well. I took a gamble and put the Tokina 11 to 16 on, and I am shooting at, hold on a second, 12mm to be precise. I knew I wanted a long exposure. I was trying to use just a normal exposure to gauge how I wanted the composition, but it just didn't work for me this time. I think it's because it's so murky and miserable. I put the polarizer on because I thought I wanted the glare off the water. Actually, I don't. I want the glare on the water so it's milky white. I've put a 0.9 soft grad on because, again, the sky, as you can see, is a lot brighter than this here water. And I put the 6 stop on. I wouldn't need the 10 stop, that would just be ridiculous. Now I'll turn you around and show you what the issues are with this composition. Hang on. I thought at first I wanted to be up high. You just might be able to make out the mountains on Arran just showing above the pier. And that looked a bit messy to me. So I thought, okay. So then I came down low, which I'm much happier with. Oh, let me just change hands a second. Oops. Because now I've got a lovely clean line above this. But now, through here, I've got sky. Not the Isle of Skye. Sky, mountains, water. And I'm stuck. Can't do anything with that. There is no in between, because to be high enough to lose that sky, I'm going to get a mountain up here. I'm also seeing a little bit of sky under there. In terms of foreground, oh, let's turn you down. I'm simply using these rocks. It's not a particularly high tide, but it's doing what I need it to do, I believe. And that's it, simple as. So I've got F13, 30 seconds. I'm just going to take that down to F11 in 30 seconds. Having looked at this place on Google Maps, and as I was driving here going, we're not going to get a sunset, I decided in my mind these need to be mono. And much as I'd love to do low-key mono, I think they're going to be high-key, which is why I've gone for the water being milky as opposed to dark. If I put the polarizer on, the water would be totally dark and it just wouldn't ring right. And I actually did one with the Kelvin set at daylight 5880, which is blue. Not overly blue, but blue enough. And as I said to you earlier on, it is blue. It's really blue here. I don't quite get it. Now I'm getting quite a nice, I'd like to say minimal, but it's not really minimal. It is kind of minimal. I'm just going to stick that on timer and let it run. See if I can stand up. Oh, I've got so many layers on because it was big and freezing this morning. Down here it's 11, 12 degrees, or across here. I'm still trying to think. I might be able to get a shot from here. Yeah, it's a balancing act. I might try that next. If I can put the camera sort of level with my eyes, I get rid of the majority of the sky under the pier and the majority of the mountains above the pier. There's a smidge there, but not enough to actually notice. The other thing I'm not keen on with this, turn you around again. There's two parts to this pier. It's a T-shape, and that looks a little bit messy under there, the second part of the T-shape. But again, not a lot I can do about that. We just wanted to let this run. Previous exposures were 25 and 30 seconds. Yeah, that's not too bad, that. That's 63. Right, I'm just going to see if I can adjust my composition to give myself backache while I'm trying to frame up. See if I can get that mountain gone and that sky gone. Oh, blooming photography. By George, I think I've done it. I've managed to position the camera slightly higher up, as you can see, so that I just lose the little bit of daylight that was coming through under the pier, and I still haven't got the very, very misty mountains of Arran above the pier. And I'm liking that. The other thing the long exposure is doing is allowing the lovely textures and tones in the pier to come out. Everything is dark down here, and the legs of the pier are quite dark. Obviously the background where the hills are is quite dark, but the pier is muted browns and goldy colours, and the long exposure is allowing that to show through. I'm fiddling at the moment with white balance. I've left it on daylight, which is 5880, and that's bringing out the blue that is here. And that was at about 86 seconds, because obviously the ambient light is, dropping. And just totally in error, I'd lined up a shot, and in order to check, don't ask me why, in order to check my focus, I pop it onto auto. That gives me a decent exposure for a normal image. Check that it's focused, then I'll pop the filter holder back on, And then normally I'll change it to manual, and my shutter speed is set on timer for this. This time I forgot, and I got a 30-second exposure, which is really dark and moody, which I actually quite like. The pier itself is a bit kind of silhouetted, but it brought out some lovely detail in the sky, which I didn't think was there. Although there is lots of grey clouds floating above the white clouds. Now I'm hoping you can make that out. Exposure time 144.1 seconds. My histogram is pretty damn near perfect. I could actually push it a little bit further because we're not over near the white yet. But that, if this is focusing, and I'm not convinced it will, is the darker one. Yeah, you really can't see that. That was jolly good fun. I've had a peek down this side, and I've decided it's really not worth the risk. There's definitely an image there. Let's see if I can show you. And I'm also conscious that the ambient light's dropping. I have actually increased the exposure compensation on this camera because it was getting too dark. There is a shot here with these rocks in the foreground, but to get to it, I'm just not fancying that. Safety first, I'm on my own. If I slip, I'm a bit snookered. So yeah, one location, one point of view, and one image. And for the people who like shorter exposures, I have done a couple of 3-second exposures with and without the polarizer on. I'm not keen, but hey, let's show the love to everybody. So I think that's me done here. If the tide had been really high, an image if possible with the castle without getting the houses in behind it, but it's just not that high. There's a wonderful rock formation down here, but no. Me no thinking me do that. Me thinking me might end up slipping on a rock. So thank you for joining me at Portencross. A fabulous little spot, and it's so calm and it's so mild. Up in the Highlands, it was, I think the most I saw on the temp gauge was 4. And now it's like 11 degrees and I need to go and take some layers off because I've still got my thermals on. And it's wonderful watching the cormorants out on the bay. I'd show you, but you're never going to see in this weather and not with this little camera. There's cormorants bobbing about. That island looks fabulous. And I've never really seen the Isle of Arran. It looks very blue. That's it. I'm done. Hope you enjoyed the image. I might put 2 up. You never know. And I look forward to seeing you next weekend. Bye for now. Oh, I meant to say, thank you for all the recent likes and subs. Much appreciated. I was beginning to think I was stuck on 6,300 for eternity. Made it 6.4 now. Thank you ever so much. See you again soon. Bye.